In 2003, a mysterious incident occurred in the vicinity of a Russian lake. The life jacket of a U.S. soldier, allegedly killed in an accident in Yemen, floated in the waters of Lake Bezdonnoye, north of Moscow. But how did it get there? The case was the prelude to the whole new investigation into the big question of whether secret civilizations and underground connections between continents can exist on our planet. Before we investigate this exciting question, it's time to ask for your support for our channel. You can do that easily by hitting subscribe right now, activating the notification bell, and giving us a like at the end of the video if you liked it. How did the vest end up in the lake? A village government employee was amazed when he found a U.S. Navy life jacket at Lake Bezdonnoye near the Russian city of Solnechegorsk in 2003. The identification inscription showed that the find belonged to a sailor named Sam Belovsky, who had served on the USS Cole. The U.S. Navy destroyer had been blown up in an assassination attempt in the harbor of the Yemeni city in Aden on October 12, 2000. In that accident, 4 sailors were tragically killed and 10 went missing, including Sam Belovsky, whose life jacket turned up in Russia 3 years later. There continued to be no trace of Sam Belovsky, and the question arose as to how the life jacket had narrowly escaped from the Indian Ocean into a tiny lake north of Moscow. The distance between Aden in Yemen and Lake Bezdonnoye is 4,000 kilometers if one were to use a dead straight air route. Some para-researchers came by this mysterious incident again on an old secret which, let's say, is not so secret at all. For it is said to have been known in some circles for a long time that there are tunnels in the Earth's interior that extend 1,000 kilometers and connect entire continents. The existence of such tunnel systems is supposed to be kept a secret for certain reasons. Of course, in this world, there are a lot of tunnels under the earth and caves, which are quite normal geological formations. But in addition to them, almost on every continent, there is a whole series of paths and tunnels which are obviously not of natural origin. The main difference is the perfection and amazing accuracy of how shafts, tunnels, and passage systems were worked. In the Crimea, a marble cave exists in the Katar Dagh Mountains at an altitude of 900 meters, which widens into a huge hall shortly after the entrance. Downstream is a tube about 20 meters long, which is probably filled half with boulders due to numerous earthquakes. Originally, this tunnel, which has remarkably flat walls, is said to have led deep into the mountains and eventually to the sea. The walls that are still visible today are in surprisingly good shape and show no signs of erosion. Otherwise, in this area, influences by flowing water change the limestone in a very typical way. But such traces are not found in this cave, which indicates that the walls have been specially worked. According to recent reports by Crimean speleologists, a huge cavity and tunnels have been discovered under I Petri Massif, which may have once connected the Crimea with the Caucasus. An expedition discovered other tunnels in the Caucasus under the Uvariv Ridge and opposite Mount Aurus, which led to the Crimean Peninsula and the cities of Krasnodar, Yeks, Rostov-on-Don, and the Volga region. One branch allegedly led to the Caspian Sea and the Krasnodar region. The Medveditskaya Ridge is said to have once been a junction of tunnels. In the Caucasus, in the gorge near Geldinzik, a vertical shaft has been known for a long time, leading straight as an arrow and with a diameter of about 1.5 meters into the depth. The walls of this shaft, which can be proved to be several tens of thousands of years old, are so smooth that they could hardly have been formed naturally. In addition, the rock shows traces of mechanical as well as thermal processing. Here, and in other places where strange tunnel systems were found, the question must be asked whether these were created by humans or another intelligent life form. All in all, the secret tunnel network is said to have connected not only the Crimea with the northern regions of Russia. The further connections may have led as far as the New World and the North American continent. Secret tunnels in Western Europe, America, Africa, and Asia. On the border between Slovenia and Poland, Mount Babia rises in the Tatra Mountains with an altitude of 1,725 meters. Since ancient times, there have been stories that the mountain is an entrance to a secret labyrinth system, which is said to include tunnels to other worlds. Inhabitants of the village of Babia Gora claim to have once been in the passages themselves, the walls of which were also remarkably smooth, just as if humans had created them. The passage supposedly led to a hall from which several tunnels branched off. According to the legends, each tunnel leads from here to different worlds. Worlds can also be understood as other countries and continents. In England, not so long ago, miners building a tunnel found a staircase in the depths that led to a well from which strange sounds came. The well reached unusually deep into the earth, and it was not entirely clear whether it actually served to extract water or had once been a kind of connecting shaft. In North America, researchers found very similar installations. Tunnels leading down arrow-straight halls with branching tunnels or well-like structures that may be further shafts to tunnel systems. At Mount Shasta in California, there is a network of nodes where various mines converge. In truth, the mines are said to be far more than just legacies of mining. Married couple Iris and Nick Marshall found a cave near the small California town of Bishop in a mountainous area called Caso Diablo, whose walls and floor were as unusually smooth as if they had been polished to a shine. In addition, the couple credibly reported hieroglyphic-like writing on the walls. One of the walls was even said to have small holes from which faint rays of light streamed. After strange noises were heard in the cave, the couple fled and later failed to find the entrance to the cave. In 1980, again not far from the coast of California, a huge cavity was discovered extending several hundred meters into the interior of the continent. A similar construct is said to exist in Idaho. This was explored and documented by anthropologist James McKean, among others. In Mexico, the ancient cave Santano de la Golondrinas gave rise to speculation. More than a kilometer deep and several hundred meters wide, the steep, flat, and smooth walls reach into the depth. There, researchers encountered a network of rooms, passages, tunnels, and branches. This could also be an ancient hub of intercontinental tunnels. In South America, striking tunnels are known to exist in Peru's Nazca Desert, Ecuador, and Chile. In addition, dozens of stories exist in these countries about underground cities and entire civilizations that are said to live, or once lived, in the Earth's interior. Some of the caves and passage systems known so far in South America are marked with the simplest drawings, which means that they were inhabited or used at times by primitive cultures. The drawings are clues to the unusual age of the passages. In South America, too, a number of tunnels are known whose walls are so smooth that they look like mirrors. In Southeast Asia, researchers have long suspected that the famous mystical place of Shambhala is actually underground in Tibet. The Tibetan tunnel systems are said to be guarded and protected by Buddhist monks today. There are some eyewitness accounts of people who claim to have seen Shambhala, as well as other underground cities and even an alien civilization. However, photographs or further testimonies are strictly forbidden by the monks. In the Chinese province of Hunan, complementary tunnel systems are found on the southern shore of Lake Dongting as well as southwest of the city of Wuhan. There, Chinese archaeologists discovered the entrance to an underground labyrinth in a circular pyramid construction. Here, too, the stone walls were unusually smooth and appeared to have been carefully worked. Numerous drawings in the caves are said to show, in addition to some simple hunting scenes, entities wearing unusual clothing and appearing incongruous, exalted, or like gods compared to the rest of the depictions. While humans in the paintings hunt with spears, the alien-like beings seem to fly above the humans, watch over them, or dwell among them as some sort of superhuman. The halls under the pyramids of Giza. According to legend, there are secret halls, rooms, and passages under the pyramids and especially under the Sphinx in Egypt. According to some parascientific theories, a super race once retreated there into the depths of the earth. These entities are said to have a considerable influence on the Egyptian image of the gods or to be identical with their deities. According to an old tradition, under the paws of the Sphinx is a library of wisdom which contains all knowledge about this world and the cosmos. Although investigations are said to have taken place, no rooms have been found so far. Some alternative researchers claim that the rooms are much deeper than previously thought. In fact, there are reports that shortly after the Sphinx was uncovered, a worker came across numerous rooms and shafts inside. He and a summoned scientist would have suddenly found themselves standing inside front of a door protected by a semi-transparent curtain, or rather a strange energy. It was impossible for the two men to cross this paw. This happened in the year 1818. In the present time, scientists claim that there are no premises in or under the Sphinx. The entrance to the inner rooms is said to have been on the back as well as under the ears, and amazingly, there are traces there today that allow us to draw conclusions that the entrances were sealed with cement not so long ago. What can, or must, we now think about these discoveries? Could the sailor's life jacket have reached Russia through secret tunnel systems? Is it possible that the sailor survived and got into one of the tunnel systems either knowingly or by accident? What do you think? Is this in any way realistic? Or do you have a completely different idea on how a life jacket from an accidental sailor in Yemen could turn up in a remote lake in Russia? Write your very own opinion and ideas about the topics in the comments. We thank you for watching and look forward to seeing you again soon on Hidden Worlds.